go through backgrounds if people want to know about the characters.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
That's not a bad idea. Is that something
we could do it? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
No, I was just really going to ask a question because this is my first one. Is that something that's normally supposed to be something that you find ways to share during the normal RP?
Yeah.
Or
Well, some parts, yeah. Some parts you might keep to yourself, obviously, based on what your character would do, obviously. Like, as an example, like, my character's gonna be like, yeah, so here's some stuff that happened. Before that, I have no idea. I can't fucking remember. Or say, for whatever reason, it's Arian's name of your goblin wizard, right?
Airy.
Airy? Why was I thinking Arian? Airy might not fully disclose, like, his previous servitude to his wizard master, but give more of an inclination towards whatever story or spiel he wants to share.
On the plus side, everything said here doesn't go into session. So at that point, it's really just a matter of how good you are at pretending you don't fucking know the other person.
right?
Oh, don't worry, I'll probably forget. Did I might have accidentally created talk in my image because I'm just forgetful as shit sometimes.
I met one of the guys in my Sunday game today in real life. He's a coworker of my wife, and I had never met him. And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Oh my God, you're a giant version of your character."
It's crazy.
Look just like his character picture, and I'm just like, "Oh my God."
So with that being said, do we want to tell each other our backgrounds?
Sure, I'm down.
All right, Ari, you're at the top of my list. You first.
Well, what do you know of Airy?
He sounds like salad fingers. And
No.
Fucking salad fingers.
and he's got burns on his hands, and he's small and a goblin, and his robes are green but look like they were originally yellow. That's all I know.
Does this
His
sound
master was
better
a piss wizard.
than the?
Yes,
the
it
other
does.
one?
Very.
Okay. All right. I'll keep it this. That's 71. Yes, sir.
Ironically enough, it actually sounds like you've got a deeper voice instead of higher pitched.
Really?
But I feel like it matches the character better.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
does.
because she's 116. This sounds higher to me than what I'm hearing for my own voice. My own voice to me sounds way deeper than this.
So the actual voice is deeper, but the effects around the voice give it both the high and deeper voice. So
Yeah, that's
works.
what I was trying to do. To be high pitched like a halfling because it's small, but also she's 116. She's getting there. She's old, so I wanted to sound a little old.
Do you even know Airy's a goblin? All you've seen is a green hand.
She wasn't fucking paying attention to any of you because she was over by the stage. She was just paying attention to the stage, which is why she was so surprised when Jewel came over and she's like, "Hey, do you want to come with us?
Do you want to build a snowman?
Please get the fuck up out of bed.
All I can think of is My Little Pony. The fucking magic of friendship."
That's right.
To be fair, I'm thinking about it here. How distinct are goblin voices? Because Airy has talked with the group.
I have talked with the group, and it sounded like somebody had education.
If you're going based off of what it was in Critical Role, they had a goblin who was disguising their face, and people were mistaking them as a halfling in the Mighty Nine campaign. So that would lead me to believe that you could not recognize them by voice.
I mean, in Critical Role, goblins are also
accepted.
Not really.
What's the word? Discriminated against.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty heavily. So are they discriminated against more than
Keep trying
Or
to tell her
then
that.
what are they called? Kobolds?
Nah,
Probably about
kobolds
the
are my
same.
babies, man. Kobolds are my kids.
I had
You
a
know those
short
memes about people starting up?
dragonborn.
You know those people who like show the memes about, or the memes are made about, who start kobold orphanages? Yeah, that's me. I'm one of those people.
Right? I'm joining.
Goblins,
Just for the shits
kobolds,
and giggles.
they're the same discrimination
Yeah.
factor. Same with gnolls and orcs. D&D is trying to change that soon, but
Good fucking luck.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, do you want us to recognize your voice, Ari?
Probably not. It probably would be now that they mentioned it. It'd
one
probably
thing
be hard to do.
you don't see him look up. So if you're at a
So he
table,
hasn't seen any of our faces.
you don't know when you're looking at him. His hat is pulled down. What you're seeing is his hand, and the hand it's not like one giant burn scar. It looks like it's lots of burns. It's happened. So whatever it was something over time that gave all the scarring. And he is all of 13 years old. They become of age at 9. He doesn't really remember his family at all. All he remembers is the wizard. And the wizard who kept calling him, he realizes now, a hairy creature. But he thought his name was Airy Creature. So,
Oh.
and all of the damage came from the wizard just lighting him up for fun.
Mm.
So and this could be wrong via Jeff's timeline, but I thought the pox was still around. And so in my backstory, the wizard has got the pox. And so Airy realizes that typically you don't survive the pox. So he took the wizard's spell book and left. And he's been teaching himself magic.
Oh.
So the spell book has a lot of spells in it that he has no idea what are. So
He's accidentally been casting fireball at point blank range, and he's like, "Why the fuck do I keep exploding?"
he can't even read those sections. He's just gradually got into cantrips, and now he's got first level spells. So
See, like all I can picture now is Dobby the house elf.
Dobby is a free
Like
elf.
I just want to hug him.
somebody knows what his voice was supposed to be, and it got changed at the end. So he originally wouldn't have came off as intelligent, even though he is. But originally his voice was supposed to be along the lines of Jar Jar.
Well, to be fair, I think that would have made it even less clear that he was a goblin, because that would have been. I would have been seen like, we got a fucking miniature Gungan up in here? I've never heard of this race.
Love that. I could not say anything before the culling, but I do like Jar Jar, and I will stand behind that. I don't care what anybody says. I love Jar Jar. I love him.
Jar Jar is the best form of government takeover.
I have a 2 to 3 foot tall Jar Jar in a box.
No,
wow.
the fuck you don't.
Oh yes,
You
I
are
do.
lying.
I am not.
Proof.
All right, let me get it out of the closet.
No, Jar Jar being in the closet scares me.
It's amazing.
I had to show proof of my M2. You got to show proof of your Jar Jar.
It's because they give me Star Wars things for presents.
Jar Jar was
you're just
getting
a
a
big
lot of
Star
hate
Wars
before
fan?
the culling, but he's amazing.
The
When he tries to steal the apple and Qui-Gon grabs his tongue, that's classic.
Yeah, he's great comedic relief. But the one thing I always have the problem with is, in a sense, Order 66 is directly his fault. Like, it's not even, like, it's the Chancellor's plan, sure, but the only reason why he can do that shit is because Jar Jar comes along like, hey, yo, you should guys let him have executive power. Because that works well. Like, sure, it's also the Jedi's fault for being a bunch of dumb bitches, but at least if Jar Jar hadn't been there, it would have been very more difficult to...
I don't care. I still love him.
Let's take the opinion of this unvetted alien who has no political affiliations to speak of and let him decide the fate of an entire galaxy, essentially.
Jar Jar is indirectly responsible for the murders of at least 10 kids.
Well, you never know.
You don't
He
have to
could be a
say it
Sith
like
Lord.
that.
So are most politicians. No one seems to care.
That is also a very good point, but I'm not allowed to say shit on that.
Yeah. Yeah, let's not go there.
That's not a fun conversation for anyone involved.
Go where?
All
I thought
right.
we were at a tavern.
So that's Aries' story. I guess Eris is next.
Yes, Eris, your story.
Hmm.
What you're willing to share, anyway.
Well, so Ashland's from cold, mountainous kind of enclave, which is about 2 years away, traveling wise, mostly on foot from the city or whatever we're in. Since I don't know what the world looks like, I don't know exactly which direction or where. She does have a family at home. One of her rivals, pissed off at her happy marriage, cursed her kids. So that's gonna be interesting with how the fuck that curse is gonna work. What else? She spent most of her earning buying the armor she has now. I have to look at my notes because I have notes. Easy. Oh yeah, that's right. All right. Who wants to know what her kids' names are?
Whatever you're willing to share, we're here to listen.
It'd be really fucking funny if they were like all named after us, and it's like, surprise, I'm your mom.
No, but at
makes
least
these jokes even
one of them
worse.
is hilarious. So her son's name is Willibald the Aged Tongue.
What?
And it's Willibald the Aged Tongue.
Okay.
Did you name him or did his father?
Please don't laugh at that. That
Depends
makes
on
it
if
sound
you
even
remember what
worse.
his father was. The daughter's name, I guess, is a little tamer. Her name is Dina Cleverear.
Okay. Wait, so did the prostitute father name the kid or not?
Honestly, I haven't decided because technically I rolled those names in titles.
Ah.
So there was no plan. It kind of happened. The Fates named them. Let's go with that. The Fates. God. Wow, my chair is squeaky.
I have come from the heavens, and your child will be named the Aged Tongue. Do not ask why. Goodbye.
Although some who don't know him will think it's sexual, really it's just because he's got a wise mouth. Like, wise, not asshole.
Sure, it's not Qui-Gon's ghost grabbing his tongue.
Nah, it just turns out when he was
Wait,
young,
that's
he
a
had to get
Star
a tongue
Wars
transplant.
reference, right?
Qui-Gon
Making sure.
Jinn, also known as one of the best Jedi characters that they really should have kept in because he was actually really cool, and they just were like, yeah, let's kill him off.
And
Well,
failed
that-
at nearly everything he tried.
That and I don't know if currently D&D, but D&D used to be if Ghost grabbed you, you would age.
Hmm.
Oh, she's a paladin that worships the Stormlord. She doesn't really wear his colors that much, though. She has like a symbol like on her boots and on her tabard. Most of the stuff she wears is black with like almost a lilac or lavender color. It's a very pastel, almost close to white purple. And she has a lot of serpent imagery, Ouroboros around her. She does wear her hair different when she's wearing armor. When you guys met her at the tavern, she's dressed in her Barty outfit, which that's interesting. Let me read it. Nope, wrong one. Here it is. I'm looking at Grammarly. They're all mixed up. in her bard costume. Her hair is like sort of braided. It's like in a bun up at the top of her head. And then there's 3 braids on the left side and 3 on the right that kind of connect to the bun. And then her hair is down to like, did I put it down to her ass? Let me see. I think because she's short, it's just going to be like little below her shoulders. Because it'd be hard to walk if her hair was like that long. So it's a little below her shoulders. And her outfit's kind of like, if you played The Witcher 3, the outfit looks like Priscilla's outfit. So she has an hourglass figure. Her outfit accentuates it. It consists of puffy booty shorts striped in greenish teal and gold filigree. Her leggings were split color. The right leg was crimson red, and the left leg was a greenish teal as well. Her shirt was primarily red with gold fluff over most of her cleavage, and a deep, almost navy blue vest. Oh, and she wears those bells around her ankles and calves when she's dressed in that costume. So they ring with every step she takes. Background? I mean, God, there's so much I could end up giving away if I read the rest of her background. What else could I read off?
Yeah, they still have it in, evidently. The ghost, horrifying visage.
Yeah, so, I mean, she's just kind of from a cold mountain. Kind of acts like dwarves, so probably lives near mountain dwarves or dwarfs.
Yeah, Ari doesn't know what goblins act like, so that's why he's strange.
Do you have anything to share about like her?
Her
she is?
specifically?
Not like what she looks like?
Yeah, well, she's kind of like Loki. She likes to pull little pranks. Pretend to steal someone's shit, puts it somewhere else, and then waits for them to find it. She loves magic. She will do anything and everything to get magical items, but only if the magical item interests her. Hence the stealing the possible axe.
Well, that's not even a magic axe, though.
I know.
That's just a
She doesn't
regular
know
hand.
that unless she. I don't think she has the senses,
Yeah,
which is
so,
what makes it kind of funny.
So she just randomly steals like a normal hand axe. Because the funny thing is,
If it
that's
looks
probably not even
magical,
gonna
she'll take it.
Gotta get that crack.
be. Yeah, it sucks
Oh.
because then that's gonna mean Talk's not gonna make the actual interesting magic items that he can make when he gets to later levels. There's some
Hey, it has
interesting
to be
shit
of
artificer can
interest
make.
to her. If she doesn't really care about it, then she doesn't care.
Just
Ooh,
hold
you'd be
it up
surprised
really
what this guy can
high.
make.
She can't reach. Just hold it up high all the time.
So what kind of items would you say that she'd find interesting?
Armor?
That extendable
You're gonna
dick.
have to be more specific than that. I can make a lot.
Ooh.
Like I've got an armor that's literally just called the Mind Sharpener. You put it on and you get smarter. I got Helm of Awareness. I got Enhanced
Would
Defense.
be good.
I got Boots of the Winding Path, whatever the fuck that means. Oh, it's really just teleporting booth.
Those
Armor of
like
Fools.
nail protectors that make your fingers look like claws. That would be
Actually,
something she'd like. Lots of jewelry, because you can make bank selling that. And she would give it to her husband for reasons.
Eyes of Charming, that might be something.
Ooh.
The Ring of Water
I mean, pretty
Walking.
much any magical stuff that will help her either with basically being a conquistador, conquering, or help with shenanigans.
Well, here's a shenanigan that I just found. Gloves of Missile Snaring.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is.
I'm pretty
Ew.
sure that's
Take a
just
look
like
real quick.
saying, I want a magic item that lets me not multi-class as monk.
Hits you when you're wearing them. You can use your reaction to reduce the damage by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier, provided that you have a free hand. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile if it's small enough for you to hold in that hand. What the fuck?
Yep, just I
Oh,
want to be a monk but not be a monk. The magic item.
Yeah,
what
you
would
got
be
winged boots.
cool? I don't think it exists in D&D, or at least
Ring
not
of
in
jumping.
5e. Was to actually be able to eat fire.
There might be one of those. I don't know.
Oh, there's the bag of holding.
I can make that.
There's one that's chaos. There's two things specifically she wants to find. I gotta go with my inventory. The devotee censer, which is a type of flail, and
What about the
pipe
horn
of
of
smoke
blasting?
monsters. Pipe of smoke monsters, a wondrous item that's common. While smoking this pipe, you can use an action to exhale a puff of smoke that takes the form of a single creature, such as a dragon, a flump, or a froghemoth. The form must be small enough to fit in a 1-foot cube and loses its shape after a few seconds, becoming an ordinary puff of smoke. So, God, I fucking love Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar is one of my favorites.
Oh my
That's
god!
amazing.
I love Jar Jar.
Oh, he comes with the whack droid too.
That's amazing.
Oh, fuck. Damn it! I got distracted. What was I saying?
The different magical items that Ash
Oh,
would be
right.
interested in.
Yeah. So, basically, she will be enjoying that Hobbit leaf and fucking around with the pipe like what's his name? Gandalf does.
So what I'm hearing is she's a short, dwarf-like
Angel woman.
prankster magic klepto.
Yes.
Sounds like she would be into the horn of blasting
Oh, yes.
or the repulsion.
So much of the yes. Some of her behaviors or personality ties into Norse kind of stuff. So I looked up in real life the Celtic version of Valhalla, and it's Memil, how it's pronounced, from what I understand, as Memil. But it's easier to scream for Valhalla than Memil, because I'm probably not going to remember it in the moment.
Memes for my meal.
So in Roll20, I don't have the ability to select Talkin, which is spells, for her proficiency. So I'm just making her an instrumentalist, so she can just kind of use any instrument. And the instrument I picked
But
for
she's
her.
not a bard.
No, she's an entertainer. As a
Gotcha.
background. Is a horn. I can't wait until I can do spells. I want to do spells so bad. There's a thaumaturgy I want to use so bad.
My warning, since you collect magic things or move things, don't go towards Aries' spellbook. He will light you up.
Well,
It's
I
even
know
better though
that.
because you don't know what spells
She
he's gonna
doesn't
use.
know that. Also, she has to at some point show some interest in it.
That's just the general rule with Aries. Somebody tries to get the spell book, he lights them up.
So I'd have to
Love to
take
see
what,
that.
fire damage? Roll for fire damage?
Nope. He has something that's persistent even.
Just
So-
do it, Ari. Just do it.
So you would take damage round to round so you could get it off.
So
Wait, what? Conjure bonfire?
it's like the Mangekyo flames, those black flames that just kind of never go away, ever.
It's not flames. It's a different thing entirely.
Oh boy. Fuck, now I'm curious.
What, fairy fire?
No, this actually does damage.
Wow, you're just gonna go diss the fairies like that?
God, I'm interested.
Before we
Fuck.
give too much away, maybe we should switch to Haseo.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that would be relevant to give away right now. Can't make it.
Or wait,
Sit
we
up.
doing Jewel or Haseo first?
Oh,
I'm just passing the torch. It is you next, Jewel, but
Yeah, Joel, you're next.
great. Well, shit then. being sly there.
You're still looking at Jar Jar, aren't you?
Staring into
Um,
those beady eyes.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so Jewel is she's half elf. Her father was an elf. Her mom was human. She was raised by her mother, in like a small village, very close to her mom. She had a half sister that is human. Very, very close with her sister. Jewel is over 70, so her sister is older now, has grandchildren and a huge extended family now of her own. And that's really all of the family that Jill has left. When her mom died, she took it kind of hard. They were young when that happened, and a traveling bard took pity on her and also had some nefarious reasoning for wanting to create some sort of relationship there, kind of took her under his wing. She ended up getting into some things that she probably shouldn't have. Pissed off some people, did people wrong because of that. She lost track with her family. They don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. She made one too many people angry and was cursed. She doesn't remember anything that's happened in the last 30 years of her life. And because she's a bard, and one of the big things with bards is collecting stories and telling stories, she kind of found out by accident that as she collects new stories and she learns more from other people, she slowly starts to get flashbacks and learn more about herself. So she's kind of on a journey right now to collect as many stories as she possibly can, because she really wants to know what happened in that past 30 years so that she can make up for it, make amends, and basically atone for what she may have done wrong by her family. Yeah, so that's her. Her hair is half red, half black, right down the middle. Depending on how she parts it, she can actually change the appearance where it just looks like she's a full-blown redhead or have raven black hair. And so she used that with the bard in the past on some of their expeditions. Came in handy. And yeah, she plays the violin, the tambourine, and I think the rest of the stuff I already shared with you guys. She's like overly optimistic and jovial, but it's almost surface level. She just really, really wants to be friends with people. She wants people to like her. But it's almost like because she feels like she's not worthy, because she knew that she's messed up. And she did some shit that she shouldn't have. And so it's almost like she's searching for that validation. She's searching for relationships and doing whatever she can to try and make that happen.
I think you and Ash will get along.
Maybe.
I mean,
do think
considering
that
her backstory, she might like to trade stories with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I also realized forgot to mention something on the character, but that's okay. We can skip till later. Sorry.
Well, I do think it's interesting because I didn't realize this in the moment, but like the whole memory thing, I added that in Roll20 before the Discord chat was even created. And so, Talk, when you shared that that's something that you have in your background, that's what I was telling you the other day. I'm like, I don't know if Jayhoff realized that, if that was intentional.
I don't know. I'm getting sneaking suspicions that he's secretly like some kind of mastermind.
Right.
And
right?
it's either going to be like, it's going to reveal that somehow like either Talk's like the secret bad guy of your lost memories. And like the whole point of Talk being good now is like now it's this massive moral dilemma of, do you judge Talk for what he was before or what he has become?
It's so weird though, because that is very, very similar between the two of our backstories. There's a sense of atonement for both of us. There's forgotten memories for both of us. I mean, it's just it's weird. It's weird.
I guarantee there's no way he was just like, that's a coincidence. I guarantee he's thought of something. Like he's gonna like come out and there's gonna be a plot twist, session 49.
And DMs always do that type of stuff.
This is assuming.
To be fair, I've done the same thing before in a campaign. I've literally done the exact same thing where two characters who were initially completely unrelated but gave me that just enough leeway. I made it happen. I made them have to go through some fucked up shit. It was like both of them were like veterans of a previous war, but neither of them named the war. And I was like, well, there was this war that happened. I never specified to them which side they were on because they were mercenaries for hire. And then after a coincident point, they discover they were on opposite sides during the same battle and had killed each other's friends during that battle and never realized it. That was a great fucking twist. They were angry with me because now they had to face a moral dilemma. And they're like, we were here for good times, and now I feel all kinds of ways, and I don't know how to feel.
You got him in his feet.
You get them both in the same room. It's like, wait a minute, you're the reason I got one of my eyes gouged out. Wait, you're the reason I lost one of my ears. Hey,
You're the reason why they call me. They're the reason why they call me One Testy Thomas.
Are you my dad?
Are you my uncle?
Shut up, limp leg Larry.
Are you my mummy? Are you my mummy?
Okay.
Mummy.
Mummy. Oh, that's why.
Are you my
'cause I can
lawyer?
fucking hear myself.
All right, so I'll
Dr.
pass the buck. Who's next?
Haseo.
One
Or
thing,
Hashiko.
Cool.
I'm probably going to have to leave shortly. They need help tonight doing runs. So,
That's
Go
unfortunate.
first, then.
They should have hired more people then.
yeah. There's a shortage of healers, so that's what I typically bring for them.
Are you going right now, or are you just maybe later?
I'm just giving you a warning shot.
I
Gotcha.
mean, why don't you
you
save
hit me
it?
with that
'Cause I wasn't really planning on sharing much unless it was roleplay. So you could just go next if
I
you
mean, I'm
want.
treating mine as roleplay because talk it probably would have come up at some point, considering how at least Haseo, I know your character was like somewhat intrigued by Warforged. So I'm assuming it probably would have come up as a topic of conversation of where the
Yeah.
fuck did you come from? Type shit.
Yes, more of a what are you? It's like, is that a soul in there? Like I could tell you that much. That was just curiosity.
It's Campbell noodle soup. Don't worry about it.
But that's so good for the fucking soul.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
You know
think
what?
that
I'm getting
basically
some
what
right
they're
now.
saying.
Jill said she'll be right back.
Do we go
I
pause
think
for a
that
second
basically
and
what they're
wait?
before we move on for that though, I think basically what they're saying is what you would have given if we had a moment in the tavern to just role play.
Yeah, we didn't get much time for that, unfortunately.
Yeah, that kind of went by really fast.
I think I would have had Ash be curious about what you guys are talking about, but by the time she was at that point, you guys were already leaving the tavern.
Okay, bye.
There was just a lot of noise, and at some point, I was just like, "Oh shit, we've left the tavern." So
Yeah, I would have been fine with that session just like being the entirety of us in the tavern. So that way, the next session, we would have just arrived, gotten our map, gone to the crypt.
That sounds like how he plans to start it.
Well, yeah, but no, I mean like last session 0, we ended with us going to get the map and heading out to the crypt.
Yep.
But
Then flashback to a bard performance.
yeah, I feel like we could.
Yeah.
But again, it was kind of timing was weird thanks to us doing the session 0 thing, obviously. So
yeah,
Fucking watches. How do they even work?
we can ask him next week if we can do a little more flashback so that it runs more smoothly.
Let's go
Unless you
forward.
guys
we'll
wanna
need
skip
to.
it.
I don't
Let's
think
go
we need
forward
to do flashback.
first.
Yeah, because we're gonna have time after this crypt job. I can tell.
We
Nothing.
need to learn. We need to learn the town we're in, like districts and whatnot.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll have to play her as not knowing what the fuck is really going on because there's no way she could have heard what you guys were saying.
We told you we were going to a crypt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jewel also made it pretty well known to the whole tavern.
Yeah, that is a good point. Everyone in the tavern's like, "You're going grave robbing? What the fuck, guys?"
I don't know
Oh,
if they heard someone say grave robbing, but we're going on a quest, friends, adventure. That was definitely, I think, top of the
Quest.
lungs.
Well,
Quest, friends,
somebody.
adventure, crypt.
I mean, other people had already knew that the one sending us was up to something. So
That's a good point. Yeah.
So I just have her assume she knows
You
what's
stop
going on.
sending me these fucking.
Because I was gonna say that's why Zump got invited to the group, right? Was some other holy individual came
An
up and was like,
ancient
"Hey, yo, I got
holy
concern."
woman like walked up to me and was like, "Yo, my fucking scavenging days are over. Could you like check out that sketchy gnomes like group that he hired?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure."
That sketchy gnome. There he is, sitting in a corner, drawing.
That green man.
Smoking fucking from a bowl, 3 different types of weed. Who does that?
It's not even 3 different types of weed. He lied. It's all the same weed. He just really, really addicted.
It's inhuman. He's a gnome. That's still the point.
It's inhuman. He's a gnome.
To be honest, when I was
You
listening
are not
last week,
alone.
there was so much going on that I didn't really understand what was happening. What point could I interrupt to have her like come over?
Look, role play it. At any point, you could have been like in the middle of me talking. You just say, "You guys hear bells as I stomp my foot on the table," and you're just on the table in front of us. Hello.
Yeah. Having to jump
Human
up.
politeness kept me from doing that because there was just again so much going on at once that I was
I mean,
trying
it's
to
a
hear what
tavern.
everyone was saying and
It's a tavern.
process.
There's no such thing as politeness in a tavern.
I mean, if
most
we had
polite
stayed
thing
in there
was
any
talk.
longer, something
I mean,
I did in the
in
previous
real
character
life,
that
I'm
I'm going to
used
bring
to.
back.
Yeah, let's see. We had the gnome that was wanting something from us. We had the old lady that wanted us to watch the gnome. Then we had a guy that said, "Oh, you're going there? I need this as proof of who I am."
Was it 3 side quests?
Who I
So
really
it was-
am.
Was it it was Ziggy that wanted us to go into the caverns, right?
Yeah, five
And
gold
then-
per book.
And then the Baron
Ugh, God,
wanted
sorry.
us to follow for something specifically for him.
Wait, what?
So
Yeah,
I've got-
they were going for books or something.
I've got
right?
Proof of
Ziggy, I've got
nobility.
Baron Barabbas, and I've got Baroness Hallwart.
Right,
And
those
Hallwart-
last 2 were just
Oh,
there,
mama.
as well
I
as
thought-
Aluna
Mark.
Greth.
So which one was the one that said that he's up to no good?
Oh, just
Was
some
that a
random
Luna?
holy woman.
Some random old
Oh,
elf
it wasn't
lady.
one of those. Okay.
Yeah, no. So the people he mentioned beforehand are like kind of affluential figures that we would know of from meeting them. Like Luna's mentioned because
being
it's
in the
Captain
town.
Regard. You're guaranteed. Yeah, exactly. Like you're guaranteed to probably know, like just like in real life, you probably know who the police chief of your region is because
Gotcha.
that's essentially what Luna is.
For whatever
And-
reason, I were thinking they were the ones that said something, and I need to go back in and listen to that piece.
So far as I remember, because I did recently listen to them, those were just 2 random people. Some random guy's like, hey,
I'm poor
Goblin.
and need proof of money.
I belong to a baron family. Prove it for me. Yeah, money.
We could always just someone share the screen and watch it. Watch it as a group and cringe.
I haven't been able to get into actually watching it like I want to, but just the thought of my voice is so cringe.
Cringe, baby.
Were we planning on doing any RP tonight?
Yeah, we will.
I have
think-
no
think
idea what we're doing.
I mean, I'm going through Talk's art backstory in RP. Like, you guys are gonna see what I'm gonna do with this, but it's all just kind of.
We're both in that boat.
Yeah. Oh, so
So-
Jewel is back though. So Haseo, if you wanted
Yes.
to.
Oh no, I wasn't. Oh, we were just like describing how the tavern went. I guess.
Yeah, like what you would have said in the tavern about yourself, if anything.
So we are doing RP right now, or just
I guess just talking about it a little bit. I don't think he would try to hide the fact that he's your bodyguard. So I think to everyone else there, and unless someone has unless someone else's nobility that I'm not aware of, they wouldn't really know. So I got a scroll case around Haseo's waist with the contract. It's for, I guess I can tell you that the Lucid Guard's pretty much most of his backstory, but I'm sharing most of that as things go on because Haseo doesn't really share much. Like he went up into the mountains with a bunch of monks to train, like really early in his life, and he's only 25 now. So he had a couple years of like clear your mind and all of this blah blah blah.
He's got a couple of baby mamas who he doesn't want to learn of his whereabouts.
I mean, he knows who his mother is, and it's crazy similar to Jules' backstory. But he grew up with his mother, and his town was attacked and burned. But it was essentially like the stop-through town. What would be like the Flying J in a D&D world. It's just a bunch of people live there, but it's mainly just to stop and get some service or buy some stuff and leave. And his mother was a leather worker, so he learns how to do that from her. And then one day he kind of, I'm just kind of giving backstory now. Screw it. But actually, no, I think I said enough of the backstory. But as far as the tavern and talking to people, he would kind of just say that he's been traveling with Ko for a while, and that He's a bodyguard. He's kind of always got like either a calm face or a smile, like by default. Couldn't really do that with the Hero Forge because the face expressions are terrifying. But he's like, genuinely polite to everybody. He won't really give his name unless somebody asks for it. And as you heard in the session, been traveling with Lady Ko for 6 months, and she hasn't really asked me my name. I don't have the long list of what I've been called, but I think you guys might remember more than I do.
Oh, I do.
see it.
Hold on. I got you. Hold up. Let me get it.
Good talent.
So, at some, I guess when we do the game next week, Ashlyn's just gonna change into her armor when you get to the caverns because she'd still be in her bard uniform.
Same.
So the list of names that Haseo has been called through the last 6 months before he finally said it a second time in the tavern is Haso, Hakito, Hakiko, Hakaka, Habib, Haseo, Hatito, Haha, and Mateo.
I like how
I was
ended that
expecting
whole
to hear a
string.
mojito in there at some point.
I like how my character ended that whole string just by saying, "Hello, what's your name?"
Yeah,
and I'm
like-
just like, fuck, he cornered me. Yeah, I'm gonna answer.
The truth comes out. You said a word.
We totally were already. I had this list prepared to call him these names throughout the campaign until I heard him say his name again, and it happened session 0.
He's not the type of guy that
no.
would just look at you and be like, I mean, I have no reason to hide my name. People don't know who this. People don't know.
Tell me your
I think
name,
we might end
Magic
up
Green
adding
Man.
to it.
Oh yeah, I forgot with the lights. His glowing skin, I could choose what color it glows.
Oh God,
That's
I'm
pretty
gonna
good.
have so
is
much
red
fun
for
with that.
angry?
I don't think he would do anything flashy as red when he's angry as a monk. His personality, like a lot of like his backstory that has the juicy bits is like the montage training of being a monk. It's just brutal.
So is Ko next?
Yeah, if he's done.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of the background. I don't know how much of this, I'll admit, applies to the world that J. Huff has actually made. It was just things that I found when I was looking at the background of a blood mage and everything. But apparently in the D&D world, blood mages are considered apostates, which are kill on sight, so they're hunted. I don't know how much of that will apply in here. I did tweak it a little bit to try and make it not like the entire fucking world is trying to kill me, and say that maybe it's not the whole world, maybe it's a specific group of people or something like that. I say that and realize I've forgotten to tell that to J. Huff. Although also I haven't told him that my class is considered hunted. I just figured it was basic knowledge based on the research that I did. So I don't know what'll happen there. But based off of that information is a lot of what my background is also based off of. So basically, with my father and my mother, they were not originally nobility. They were granted their titles in a situation where the elf that ruled over our enclave had a wife who was hemorrhaging during childbirth, and they almost lost the wife and the child. However, my father and his abilities as a blood mage, which are hidden, of course, had kicked everybody out of the room and managed to save the wife and the child of the ruler of the elves at that point, which gave him the ability to be granted the title. That extended to his family and his lineage. So the mother ended up getting it, father got it, my older brother got it, and then I also have it. That's the only reason why I have a title. With that being said, a lot of the day-to-day life centers, and like all of that was before Ko was ever born. So Ko is 108 in the backstory I'm telling you, but when you've met her, she's 109. Equivalent would be 18 human years and then 19 human years. With that being said, a lot of the time, her father spends his time working like in his office on the documents and whatever else that a noble in his position would need to work on. Ko is not expected to learn as far as it goes for carrying on the title the way that her brother is. And so Ko was taught more like the magic stuff that was just basic magic, wizard magic. Whereas her brother is the one that has learned more of like the ins and outs of being a noble, because at some point in time in the future he will be Lord Taisel, or Tai as I call him. Her mother's hair is quite long, pure white, her with like gold ornaments around it, just clasped into the hair in places. Her father has forest green hair that is braided on one side with golden clasps around it. Ty's hair used to be a very long white color, but in a fit of rebellion against his mother, he cut it off. So he had quite the verbal lashing over that from father. Apart from that, the way that the blood mage community would work, as far as what I would assume everybody would know, which is why it would be looked down upon, is that basically when you come of age, so it really depends on what race you are. So for a human, it'd be 18. For an elf, it's 108. When you come of age, the leader essentially of your group of blood mages has to guide you into the blood mage side of things. And what happens is they have to carve the symbols of the fiend into your body to the point where you bleed out almost on the brink of death. At which point then, on the brink of death, the fiend comes and you make a pact with the fiend. The pact with the fiend is normally looked over and monitored by the person that's, watching the entire thing go down to make sure that the fiend doesn't overstep the trade. And it varies from person to person, of course. So in the middle of said ritual, after the cuts have been made, they were attacked by a huge group of undead. And because there's no blood in undead, the only blood they had to use is their own. She, of course, was too weak, Ko's too weak to be able to fight anything in the state that she's in, so she escaped out the back door and ran up the path and could see the, swarm of undead all over her lands, all over the Enclave. And then knew that she needed to meet her family at the meetup spot that they had planned in the event that something like this were to go down. Unfortunately, she didn't make it to the meetup spot because she did end up hitting that point of bleeding out damn near and passed out on the ground. And she woke up a few days later in the monk's temple where she pretended that she didn't speak common. So that she wouldn't give too much away. She doesn't know much in regards to blood mages because it was hidden. Nobody told her about it until the day of it happening. She overheard the monks discussing, that she was a blood mage and what that meant. That's the only reason why she knows about that. So they did give her a disguise kit on the way of moving out of the monk's temple, and she's been traveling with Haseo for about 6 months since, working on her disguises to perfect them. The way that you guys see Ko, she has short white hair with one little braid coming down in the front, but she does not appear to have any of the scars.
That's certainly a unique perspective on blood mages. I've never heard of a cabal of blood mages, but that's, yeah.
When you say cabal, what do you mean? Because it's really just a little family.
I mean, like a group of blood mages. Like, most people who I find that write is like, yeah, this is like an art that no one wants to talk about, let alone pass down, because the kids might snitch.
Oh yeah, no. That's why they wait until they're of age. So it's like the mother, the father, the brother, and me. But we're the only ones in our enclave that are like that.
Yeah, and if you turn, she's lived a normal, full human life, then off where they're at. She dies. But only add to that, in the monk's monastery, there's 2 arcane users there that are like the only 2 that are magic casters, but they're really good. I think they recognize the blood magery. It's gonna be so cool if he's not sick.
Oh, one last thing to add in there. While Ko is actively seeking her family, she's traveled at least 8 towns to the point where now she's at Shadefall being the 9th town, where she has yet to hear that her family has been there, because they did go to the meetup spot with Haseo, and it didn't look like they ever made it. And other than that, she just has, when she goes to sleep, she constantly gets the re-images of just hearing people screaming at the Enclave. And that's all I have for Ko.
Liam O'Brien would be
backstories have
proud.
been- like so far, everyone's backstories have been really dope to hear everything. Like this is, I think
leave a little cliffhanger on mine.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm going to be writing sort of a, not what, well, no, it's kind of what Ko's doing with the journal, but mine's going to be like in a book format of some sort. But like the montage of him becoming a monk, that they brought him to the bottom of this huge fucking mountain, and he kind of just there's like a note that falls in front of him, and it's like, make it to the top to join us, and it looks like it would take a couple days to travel, and like what he goes through on that is kind of the biggest part of the way he is now. That story will come out slowly, but I definitely want that to be in game.
I'm listening to Ko's backstory, and I'm wondering how long it takes Eri to figure it out, because Eri's master was not a blood mage, but would probably have been a necromancer.
I think that when we first battle, you'll figure it out pretty fucking quick.
Yeah, which is gonna happen next session, guaranteed, if we're going into a crypt.
Right.
It's like, hey, yo, we got these abandoned crypts that no generation has been in for God knows how long, in the middle of something called the Grey Pox. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, basically, I didn't flavor all of them because some of them didn't even make sense to flavor, like Prestidigitation or Unseen Servant. So I didn't flavor those in any specific way, but like Mage Hand, I've changed the name of it to Bloody Palm, and it's still a spectral hand, but it's white with blood dripping off it. So like, it's not going to be hard to tell with the ones that I do have flavored to be bloody when it's not actually blood magic yet.
I got you.
Hell of a pair.
The whole group just sees you cast like this profane magic and just like turns to you as one, roll up a newspaper. No, stop it.
That's it. I'm getting my bunking stick.
I'm getting him out.
This is gonna sound crazy. As our Metrium Zinfeld, we're like, stop it! Stop it!
Actually, I don't think Eri would have an issue. Thank you.
Collectively, so most of us. Tell you what,
All right,
compromise. Eri
I'm
can
waiting
be.
for my mom to stop screaming about weed brownies.
Yeah, here, just a sec, because I think Jewel just lagged out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there because it says she's online.
Maybe
her
else
mic
in
wasn't
Discord
working.
called her.
Possibly. We'll give it a sec just to see. Because it could be... Because Lord knows Discord likes to have its problems from time to time.
Yeah, like not ringing.
Oh, Jewel.
Oh,
Hello, Frontline. Big summer blowout.
Well, as far as in between talk until she's back, then, yeah, I don't think that I've written a backstory that wasn't dark and morbid in some way. So, like with my last character's backstory, her mother had died during childbirth, and her father went into a mad rage trying to figure out who could resurrect her. And somebody offered to do so, but when she returned, she was still the decomposed, smelly corpse. And the person that brought her back just kind of chuckled and was like, "You can't bring back what's been gone for this long." And then so in order for him to do that ritual, he had to offer up his sister as a sacrifice. So his sister died. His wife got brought back. Then he had to kill his wife, and then he killed himself in a fit of like mind brokenness. And then
as you do.
Callista just ended up at the circus.
Yeah, that's definitely worse than my darkest backstory for a character. Everything just froze. Is everyone still there?
Yeah,
No.
we're still here.
Okay, everything went dead
It was
silent.
that
Like
awkward silence.
the gifs froze. Everything went dead silent. I was like, "Holy shit! Did my computer just crash?"
Sith Lord Jar Jar is taking over.
No, stop it.
It was
He's
like
clearly
that
the one who
awkward silence
orchestrated.
where-
He's clearly the one that orchestrated the end of the Republic. But no Sith Jar Jar.
I realized I forgot one description that would be obvious in both her outfit and her armor. But I don't know if I should wait for Jewel.
I just DM'd her to see if she was like doing something or coming back or what was going on.
Gotcha. Yeah, but so the darkest backstory I think I've ever had for a character was I got into this elf Death Knight a while back.
Ooh.
Yes, so
She back.
hey, Jules back. There we go.
She's like,
We've just been shooting the breeze, waiting for you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, there we go.
No.
Okay. All right. I was having some issues, but I'm back. We got it.
All right, I'll tell the story of my Death Knight later.
Did I miss it?
Miss
Okay.
Talk's backstory? No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get ready for this.
you know, we waited for you.
Oh, guys. So what are we doing then? And what? Or if talk you're skipping? You said.
Oh no, I
No.
think that he was switching his voice.
Oh.
Gotta pull up the document here. It was 10 years, 2 months, 13 days.
Too soft.
Shut up. No.
What you
No, I'm
said?
sorry. I can barely hear you. Oh wait.
Why?
No, I'm fucking stupid. I know why I can barely hear. I turned my volume down lower on my
No,
headphones.
he's
No,
low.
I can barely hear him. He's he's all the way up, and so is every single one of my volumes. He's just quiet.
Is
Oh,
this
okay.
better?
I thought it was because of
Yes,
Very
that is much better.
Is this too loud?
No.
No,
No.
Like on a scale of 1 to 10, how loud are we talking?
we're talking whatever the
7.
perfect number is. It sounds great.
Here, I'm gonna listen to myself for a second just to make sure.
It's just enough to give me a quiver, but not so much that I pass out. We're good.
Yeah, same.
Okay, cool. I think we're good.
Like I'm not fangirling or anything. It's
Is it too
normal.
low pitched? That's the other thing, because it doesn't look like it saved all my settings.
It sounds,
It sounds like it does when you're quiet. It's just we can hear you now.
yeah,
Okay, so it's you guys can understand me well enough.
yes.
Yeah, I can understand you perfectly.
Perfect. I won't have to skin any of you for your flesh. Okay,
Not today.
You won't get much from mine.
I'll at least get a rug.
Mine's damaged.
Dinky
Just
rug.
saying.
That just means I'll sell it on the Turkish market at a discount. Anyways, let's get into this shit. It was 10 years, 2 months, 13 days, 7 hours, and 33 minutes when I first woke up. I am named for my first cry of life into this world, or at least what others heard, as my body simply went talk. And as such, I was named. I was awoken by her. I do not know who she is. My first moments, I see her eyes are blue, the same gradient and shade as the sky I walk under. More details arise, a soft face with slight wrinkles that indicated many years of presenting smiles. Blonde hair, long, with the beauties of nature woven into her braids. Gentle hands marked by years of hard work. I wish I knew. Who was this who had returned me to life? Why did I not ask her name? I was taken to a village in the trees. It was pretty. A very pretty place. Calm. The birds sang naturally here. You didn't have to worry about much. I learned to read again. I assumed that before I awoke, I knew how to read. After all, it was clear I wasn't made here. Once I understood enough of the language, they made that quite clear. I'd been found there, just lying beside a tree, the roots having grown around me, almost as if to protect me. I don't often try to remember what I was before that. Every time I do, I always have one moment. I always have some problems when I try to. But I didn't need to remember much, for I learned much from this village, from her. I learned to tell the different kinds of birds flying through the trees. The fun in wood carving, planting. I learned the fun in creating things. I enjoyed working with people, helping others. Kindness, as you would say. I get the feeling or at least I hope I was kind before. It seems natural for me now. However, I suppose it's by some sort of, what is it you call it, a turn of phrase, that things were not to last. As you've all probably had to deal with yourselves. The grave hawks and this epidemic of undead that have been plaguing more and more regions outside of our more defended cities are not always that safe. 2 months ago, those came to our doorstep, almost as if badly timed. Not only were undead arriving, we were caught in the middle of a forest fire. I did fairly well. I ensured many villagers in my region of the forest got to safety. Most of them arrived here. This is one of the places we always said we would go if something happened. Some went elsewhere just to ensure the safety of other villagers who are not in the main part of the village at the time. Some have not arrived here since. But after living with them for 10 years, I'm not worried. They're careful people. Obviously enough, careful people will take time to arrive where they need to be. I'll simply make sure they have a home here to arrive to when they do get here. Is this what the feeling of worry is like? I don't much care for it. And there we go.
That was dope as fuck, man.
That was freaking amazing.
I used to enjoy quite a bit of writing. It feels nice to get back into that shit a little bit.
Fuck yeah.
I really, really wish that had been recorded.
I am recording this.
Yeah, my boy!
Yes! Yes!
Because if I tried telling that again, there's no way I'd get the same emotional response.
No, that was
It was like, what, do you
amazing.
think I'm this guy?
What? What? I put all my points into bartering!
Oh man.
So glad. So glad. Okay.
Ooh, actually, I will add one tiny bit that I did forget. But I'm not going to do it in the voice because that just takes too fucking long. Talk would also probably share a little bit like what he's been doing around, since I guarantee that topic's going to come up. If you're a weird person who shows up and is like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, Talk volunteers around, as you guys can probably already tell. He's volunteered here. Actually, Zump, depending on the church you go to, there's actually a chance that the church you worship at, if it's here in Shadefall, is actually possibly where you met Talk, since he did a little volunteering for a church's orphanage. So there is a possibility that that's where Zump might have met Talk before, because we mentioned that before, I think.
Nice.
Zump
All right,
has died.
And Talk mentioned meeting my character before.
Possibly due to the reading of books thing, since he does spend some time reading books there in the...
No, you, in fact, are the one that mentioned it.
Did I?
Yes, when I walked up to the table.
I feel like I'm having a stroke.
Because you were wanting to know if I was coming to get some pain relief.
That was Imperious.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was
I was
Talk.
about to say, no, I
Sorry.
mentioned to the gnome before, like, oh, have you come back to get more books? I might have said a similar comment to you, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah, basically when Irie, when you were introducing your characters, like, yeah,
Oh,
I got
okay.
like burns all over him. Like, okay, that's a possible stand-in for how you could have met my character. So I was like, looked at you, was like, Irie, do you need relief of pain again?
Yeah, and you would have seen Airy then and realized that it's just multiple scars. It's just wherever his master at the time decided, oh, I'm going to light that area up now.
The mage hand fought back.
You ever been bitch slapped by a mage hand?
It's a magical experience.
He doesn't advise working for necromancers.
Note to self: do
Zero
not
scars.
peek
I
on
played
the
a
elf.
wholesome necromancer once. That was a very fun time. But he was a very naive necromancer. He was like this whole fear of death and wanting to spare others from its terror type thing. But he was kind of going about it the wrong way. But he was a wholesome lad until he died. He got chopped in half by a fucking orc. Like, it was bad. Anyway, Zump.
Yep, I suppose it would be my turn.
Yay!
So, Zampiros would have been born just about 100 years after the modern era would have began, on the 15th day of the 7th month, which, if anybody's read the Gods of Varanor document way too many times, you may realize that's the holy day of the Dawnfather. When he was only 15, his parents disappeared, and he was taken in, auspiciously enough, by the Church of the Dawnfather. And he would essentially work as a clergyman, not really, like an aide, essentially, for the better part of 8 years. He chafed under this particular faith and their practices, and didn't much care for it. At one point, much like children do, he just left, without telling anyone or explaining where he would go. I should also probably have meant that he was born in Shadenfall, and who knows, maybe his parents are a result of what happens to the civilization of the locals. My character doesn't know he was 15. So he goes off into the dirt road out of the city. Eventually he happens upon one of the more simple shrines of the Bringer of Change, presumably with clergymen hanging around and likely dealing with some sort of malady. He doesn't remember much about it. During his time in the Dawnfather's clergy's stay, he would have learned a little bit about medicine. Not much. How to mend a bandage, how to treat someone who has a fever by putting a cloth over their head, and just sort of helped himself to the supplies and started helping out, much to the clergyman's confusion. He ended up staying for a large period of time, and eventually he was inducted as one of the faithful. And in time, one of the priests would come to learn that he's one of the chosen, or that's what I would refer to someone who has cleric powers, because every single priest in the setting having magical powers seems kind of dumb to me. I don't know about anything else.
You're a Trojan?
Chosen.
Zimperius is a Trojan condom confirmed.
Not like Holy One or the Chosen One kind of chosen, just like the god has given you powers, minor though they be. That leads to his current standing, because, as we all know, around 50 years ago, the Greypox spread through the Northern Territories, which were recently eclipsed by the Taurians, and they got the fuck out of there, which led to a lot of people, including the non-humans, to start just cloistering themselves back in the city. And so here he is in a relatively prominent position within one of the temples. And aside from one particular adventure I won't get into, he's not really done anything in the way of exploration or combat or anything of that description. And I'll save that for a campfire story. He would likely have learned about most, if not all of you, save for Spiral's character and really much extended contact with Irie, except maybe patching a wound or two, just by pure proximity. There's a lot of religions in this universe, so I figure we either ply our trade or stand in the square and proselytize or something of the description, and so we've likely crossed paths if you've spent any time in the city. Heck, I might have tended one or two of your boo-boos in the back.
You've probably seen Ash then at some point, because she's been just bar hopping basically at all the taverns.
Seen her or her boo-boos?
Either or.
Probably, yeah, probably either or.
I mean, you said she had pretty big boo-boos, so I'm just...
If you want to know more detail of how they exactly look, I posted a document.
Wait, what?
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah, I don't know if this being recorded, if that should be verbalized.
I don't care. What is YouTube gonna do? Demonetize me? I'm not monetized.
Fuck 'em. I'm not making money off of this.
I mean, if you post it as like 18 plus, like not for kids, then you won't
YouTube
get
doesn't
flagged.
care. They expect you to remain family friendly.
I don't give a shit.
This is
Anyway.
true.
Tops
And
thighs
that's-
are not safe for work.
And yeah, save for what is essentially like required PT or just like physical training, he's basically about as average in strength as you can get for an elf. So that's basically why he just looks like your average holy man. He wasn't wearing his armor at the time any of you had met him, and that's essentially his story. It's kind of boring, regardless of how old he is.
Is he
Boring at
ribbed?
all.
Is he what?
Is he ribbed?
No,
For her
he's got
pleasure.
like 10 strength. He's about average.
So what's happening, Zimperius, is when you said chosen, you stumbled on your word, and we all heard Trojan.
Not all.
That's essentially like what could be one of the many words for someone who's been gifted powers by
Oh, so then
either a
you're
deity
the
or whatever.
you're the bear skin pack.
What?
Because you're so thin.
Oh my.
Sirius doesn't use condoms. That's why he doesn't get
Oh
the job.
Lord.
Who the hell uses condoms?
Oh,
I
Lord.
just took a sip and almost choked.
Do you know how expensive sheep
Well,
intestines
then.
are? He doesn't use condoms.
So he sleeps around.
Who uses condoms when you're celibate?
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I
You're-
never said
you're
anything about his
fucking-
exploits. This is like all out of character. He probably wouldn't have told you most of this.
Remember, he's just remember he's following the god of life. Life
No,
happens and life
I-
finds a way. Or no,
I'm
bring
following the
on
god of
that's-
change, freedom, and luck.
Life finds a
Oh,
way.
so his pullout game is on point. Luck.
Yeah, luck. There you go.
So fuck, what's his name?
He has a
Sebastian.
prayer. He has a
He
prayer
fucks the
before the
shit
moment.
out of a nun.
I do what?
We didn't hear you. What'd you say, Eris?
Oh, I heard her.
Alright. So, I forget what the anime is called in English, but this demon Sebastian fucks the shit out of a nun, and it's an episode. I don't know how to share it. But that's what image I just got into my head. Apologies.
Well, scissor be timbers, Xerxes.
Scissor me, Xerxes, scissor me. It's a good freaking episode of South Park. Good God. Alrighty, so I think that we've made it through all of the backgrounds. Are we wanting to like listen to the bards do a little?
Yes.
Yeah, yep,
Okay.
yes, please, yes, yes, oh my gosh.
Every person gets one chance to sing a song.
Well,
Niet.
Oh
Well,
God.
maybe after.
me and Eris are going to do a duet. We're going to perform together. She is going to play the piano, while I fancify you on my tambourine and viol with some light-hearted entertainment fit for a tavern.
All right.
Does that sound good? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, now listen. I'm about to
Fancy.
share my screen, so nobody DM me any sexy pictures or suggestive comments because they will pop up on my screen. I'm gonna
You
just
should have
warn y'all
said
that
anything.
right now.
Just make sure that if you're sharing your whole desktop, if there's supposed to be sound, we won't hear it.
Oh.
So you
Well,
want to share the window that the sound's
Yeah,
coming
but if
from.
I share the window, you're gonna see everything else in that window.
What are
And I
you
don't know
hiding?
that I want you to. Well, other things that I have saved for later on in the campaign.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well then why not just full screen whatever is making the sound so that we only see that?
I don't think it'll allow me to do that because I tried to do that.
Is there a way to make it a separate window so that you can share just that window?
Yeah, if it's a file, you can move it to its own like folder and then just do it that way.
Well, I have it saved on basically on a website because it's technically from an app and the
Oh,
website
yeah.
doesn't function the same.
You can't like pull it out of the tab and make it its own window.
Mm-mm.
That's fucked.
Like
Put it in
I can
Chrome.
send it to you. I can send it to you like over the phone.
I wouldn't do.
Okay, so if I share the window,
Mm-hmm.
just nobody look at it. Just listen to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's easy enough.
Okay.
All right, improv time. 1, 2, 3, go.
You can't put any music on,
That was the joke.
dude. I'm gonna break you.
You can
So
try.
Ashlyn's
Wish
gonna
you
get
were
in
saved.
position over the piano and stare over, jiggling everywhere with each movement, waiting for cue.
Just getting all this set up. Okay, don't look at anything.
Immediately leaves.
Yeah,
Ready
she's
for the
gonna.
ultimate talk.
Right? Like I go to click on watch stream and it ends.
Did it really end? Is
Yeah.
it not?
No.
Funk bucket.
Yeah, you left.
Hold on. Oh, here we go. Okay,
There we go.
let me know when you have your volumes up.
Volume up and ready.
All right, I'm just gonna take that for everybody.
Okay.
The blind man seeing eye dog pissed in the blind man's shoe. The blind man said, "Here, Rover, here's a piece of beef for you." His wife said, "Don't reward him. You can't just let that pass." The blind man said, "I gotta find his mouth so I can kick him in the ass." Bad jokes, Lord, I love them. Bad jokes, I can't get enough of them. All right, here we go. More bad jokes for me. All right, you ready for this next one? Here we go. Let's hear it. When God created woman, he gave her not 2 breasts but 3. When the middle one got in the way, God performed surgery. The woman stood before God with the middle breast in hand, said, "What do we do with the useless boob?" And God created man. Bad jokes, Lord, I love them. Bad jokes, I can't get enough of them. Ooh. More bad jokes from me? Well, Gramps turned 80 the other day, and everybody was there. And he was dressed up in a brand new suit, sitting in his big armchair, when a beautiful young naked woman stood up in front of the group. She offered Gramps some super sex, and he said, "I'll take the soup." Bad jokes, Lord, I love them. Bad jokes, I can't get enough of them. Here we go. More bad jokes from me? All right, well, I got one more. You ready? I'm gonna lay it on you. Well, Ollie went to the neighborhood dance and he won the big door prize. It was a toilet brush and he took it home the next week with one of the guys. And he said, Ollie, how's that toilet brush? The one you won from the neighbors. He said, oh, it works pretty good, but, you know, I prefer toilet paper. Bad jokes, Lord, I love them. Bad jokes, we can't get enough of them. Ooh-wee. More bad jokes from me? All right, well, farmer had a champion bull bred 200 times a year. The farmer's wife said 200 times, isn't that wonderful, dear? Maybe you ought to watch him, and maybe he'll show you how. The farmer said, well, he's a heck of a bull, but it all wasn't with the same cow. Come on now, bad jokes, the Lord, we love them. Bad jokes, I can't get enough of them. Ooh-wee. Bad jokes from me. All right, I got one more. Yeah, I do. Here we go. Did you hear about the Viagra shipment that was stolen? Who do they think did it? Well, they don't know, but they're looking out for hardened criminals. I know, it's great, isn't it? Well, don't worry, I got another one. See, Sven said to his friend, I think my wife died. His friend said, well, what do you mean you think? Well, the sex is the same, but the dishes are stacking up. Yeah, I know. It wasn't great, but that's okay. Did you hear one about diarrhea? It was hereditary. Yeah, see, it runs in your genes. I know. I just can't stop with these. Well, here's another one. Why do they call it PMS? You don't know why? Because mad cow disease was already taken. Yeah, that one's bad. Not a great one for the ladies. Sorry about that. I got another one. See, what do you get when you cross holy water with castor oil? You don't know? You get a religious movement. Yeah, that one's a bad one too. I'm sorry, I can't help it. What did the elephant say to the naked man? What did he say? It's cute, but can you really breathe through that thing? Sorry, I just can't help it. Bad jokes. Lord, I love them. Bad jokes. I can't get enough of them. More bad jokes from me. More bad jokes. Lord, I love them. And bad jokes. Can't get enough of them. That's all these I got going on. These are the bad jokes from me. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I think Ko might be gay. I loved that.
Oh boy. I think, actually, if I remember correctly, I was thinking this in gaming character. In the tavern, when Ashlyn does, look over towards the table, her eyes hone in on Ko specifically. So there's that.
Interesting.
Like she's making eyes at Ko?
Yeah.
She's playing just for Ko?
I mean, put it this way. You'll find out in game. She is into Polly and Pan. She's Pan and into poly relationships.
Your sex is a grease fire?
He was gonna say, like, talks and you're like, what do you mean you're a cooking instrument? I don't understand.
I think my favorite one was the woman standing before God holding the third boob. What do we do with the useless boob? And he created man.
Mm-hmm.
The best one ever.
But there's an issue with that. We have two. Where'd the fourth one come from?
Oh, it became an ass, I think. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
We were just saying that man is a useless boob.
The third boob is a beer belly.
With an outie belly button.
I wanted to do this the whole performance, but you said not to.
Also,
the
second the music started, so you remember how Jewel was saying, don't send any like dirty or whatnot pop up. The second music started, I just said oil is dirty, and that's it.
Yeah, you did. Which didn't come through because I shared my window so that you could hear it.
Oh, yeah, no, I was watching for it. I'm like, shit, it's not coming up. Damn it, that was gonna be funny as fuck.
Yeah, I just typed into the tavern chat that periodically her tits will play some of the keys in the song.
Oh my fucking god. Yeah, no, I was laughing at that too.
Oh, she is also giggling, so her laughter joins in with the rest of the laughter in that recording.
That was probably one of the best tracks that I could find, though. We've got the violin and the tambourine, which I both play, and then the piano, which I'm sure there was a piano in the tavern. So now we've got our first duet. We are officially have played together, and it flowed rather nicely, I think.
Oh, I have an idea. Let me see if I can find it on YouTube.
I'll tell you what. I'm half tempted to
I'll
try to
tell you
sing
what.
the song in Talk's voice just to hear how it sounds.
Yeah, do it.
Should I? Alright,
it.
I'm gonna do the one I was practicing earlier, and I'm gonna see how well I can sing along to this. But first, we're gonna make sure Talk's voice is working.
If it was
I've
supposed to be
also.
work. Oh.
Is there music playing in the background right now?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Because here's something I can do for the voice that I completely forgot about. Are you ready for what's about to happen? Because I don't think you are. You aren't prepared for the hell you've just released. Could you guys hear the background effects and the music?
Yes.
Yeah, but that is not the song. That's just something the fucking voice mod does for some of the voice packs, is it has like background music and shit for some reason.
Just your
Which is
intro.
cool. It is cool, but we're gonna go ahead. So the voice is working though? We're good?
Yes, it's working.
Yeah, we're good.
Alright. Oh god, having these headphones on is gonna make it hard to make sure I'm singing the correct tune. I don't even know how tone inclined this voice changer is gonna work, because it could, for all I know, it's auto-tuning my voice to the same note. So we'll see. In the dark, and I'm right on the middle mark. I'm just in the tear of everything that rides below the surface. And I watch from a distant 17. And I'm short of the others' dreams of being golden and untold. It's not what you painted in my head. There's so much there instead of all the colors that I saw. Oh, we all are living in a dream, but I feel what it seems. Oh, everything's a mess. And all these sorrows I have seen, they lead me to believe that everything's a mess. But I wanna dream, I wanna dream, leave me to dream. In the eyes of a teenage crystallized, oh, the prettiest of lights that hang in the hallways of the home. And the cries from the strangers out at night, they don't keep us up at night. We have the curtains drawn and closed. We all are living in a dream, but I feel what it seems. Oh, everything's a mess. And all these sorrows I have seen, they lead me to believe that everything's a mess. But I wanna dream, I wanna dream, leave me to dream. Forgot how the fuck the fucking hummingbirds go. I know all your reasons to keep me from seeing everything is actually mad. But now I am leaving, all this while only dreaming. Everything is actually a mess. We all are living in a dream, but life ain't what it seems. Oh, everything's a mess. And all these sorrows I have seen, they lead me to believe that everything's a mess. But I wanna dream, I wanna dream, leave me to dream. I wanna dream, I wanna dream, leave me to dream.
I get the feeling that didn't come out too well through the fucking microphone.
Yeah, if you check out the tavern chat, you'd see.
It's freaking awesome, man.
That was so good.
Again, I don't know how well the fucking voice, like, because sometimes the voice changer.
Someone has a background.
It was
sound
chilling.
going on.
Did
Which
I
I
switch my
think it
voice
should be chilling.
Well, no, that's good. But no, the thing I was worried about is some of these voice changers have like hidden auto tune on them, and I was worried it was gonna come through and it's like everything's monotone as shit. Just like we are all living in a dream, but life ain't what it seems. Oh, everything, it's just like everything's the same note. And I was like, oh man, if it does that to me, that's gonna sound like shit.
No, it gave you a lot of runs and stuff.
Yeah, and it made you sound very robotic, which made it even more hypnotizing.
I like the fucking Jules reaction is just yeah.
The robot sang.
Well, there's Ash.
Imagine the fucking robot singing Country Roads.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that.
God.
That'd be a song to sing like.
Look, that's
on our
one
way.
of those that everybody can sing along with. That's like a straight up piano bar song, man. Oh, where's my I need to get my freaking tambourine.
Life is older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like the breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I've been born, West Virginia.
Oh god, I haven't sung that one in a while. The issue is I normally sing bass actually. Like I try and sing low. So the issue is that anytime there's a song with higher notes, my voice does not. My voice has to warm up a bit.
Dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia,
Mountain summer, take me home.
Country roads.
We're probably all off of timing.
That's the best part.
I can't wait to listen to the recording of this after, by the way. This is gonna be great.
Already kicking in.
Take me to the place
I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, country home. Country home. Country road.
So I'm gonna give a fun story. do not judge me for this, but back in basic training, I set myself up as the shower jukebox because I started off our first night of being in the bays singing this song and other songs, and because of the acoustics of the bathroom, I sounded like a god.
It's awesome.
It was great. And then I realized what that insinuated of me being the bathroom jukebox, because that's technically an innuendo, and I realized I shouldn't share that with the dress artists. So, it's crazy how quickly you can be kicked out of the army in basic training if you aren't careful.
I just love that song because it's so much of a piano bar song. Like, one of my favorite things is piano bars.
Yeah, like, you've got that. You have Piano Man by Bon Jovi is a good one.
And Alice. Who the fuck is Alice?
Ooh.
What do you mean about getting kicked out of the army for that?
So we have this thing. I probably mentioned it before, but the SHARP program is essentially the protection of people from sexual harassment, sexual assault. And the thing is that in basic training, all acts, like they're basically like you can get screwed over for fraternizing, as it's called, which you can guess what that means, and other stuff. And you do have to be very careful with the kinds of things that are said or passed around, which includes sexual comments and shit. Obviously, it's like if you're with close friends, that's a different story. But in a general like setting, you have to be careful with that shit, because a SHARP report is one of the quickest ways to have someone kicked out of the military. Like obviously, if it's a false case for whatever reason, then nothing happens. But the issue is that's like a whole investigation. It's the same thing as in the civilian light, a false like assault rape allegation. Like putting a SHARP case on somebody who didn't actually do anything is basically equivalent to that, because that can cost promotions, that can cost them awards, that can cost them their jobs, retirement benefits. And as such, it's like they have a shit ton of people who investigate these cases usually when they pop up.
So does that mean you can get in trouble for if someone hears you say jokes in the game?
No, that does not count.
Okay,
Because I'm in a private setting, I'm talking with friends. I'm not doing anything,
Because you mentioned it after the song.
No, it's in a work setting that because the thing is, it's like in basic.
So like out in the field.
Yeah, like obviously it depends on what's Obviously, if you go over a grounds of like what's acceptable to joke about, like I've mentioned, me and the group of soldiers that were working that head count duty last week, the week before my field exercise stuff. We were joking about one of the guys has this fascination with a song that literally goes, 4 black guys, their dicks in my eyes. Like that's literally how the song goes. Yeah, like you can joke around with people like that, but it's establishing, because it's like there's different definitions to what counts as sexual harassment, what counts to sexual assault. Obviously, assault is a good portion of that is physical contact. Harassment is typically verbal. As soon as it's hands-on, it degrades into assault. But that's the thing, is like you know your audience. That's essentially what I'm getting at, is you know your audience. The same reason why like you wouldn't say racist things, but in the sexual direction rather than that kind of thing. It's a bunch of inclusive and safety things. There was basically, you know how it is with every organization. There's that one bad apple that gets in, and then it causes a whole bunch of changes because they were like, we never want this to happen again. Yeah, Army had one of those, and it created the SHARP program because somebody died because of this shit, and it fucking infuriates me. The amount of fucking neglect and all this other shit that led to this other individual dying, because this person was a good person. They were just trying to have a good career in the Army. They were trying to do something for their country. And you got these fucking 2 bad apples that ruined all that and killed somebody. And it's fucking infuriating to me that you got people who come into the Army with that kind of attitude. Because that isn't what we're fucking about. The whole point of enlisting with the military is that you're here for your fucking country. I understand if you aren't necessarily all that patriotic and you're coming in for money reasons or whatnot. That's cool. As long as you know where the fuck you are still. You're collecting a paycheck, and you're collecting it because you're this kind of person. It's because you're trying to be a person who is an example of some of the best that fucking America has to offer. Or at least what America can be when we work hard and push towards it. And the fact that there are people out there who don't act like that. Hell, I've got one of those fuckers in my unit, and he pisses me the fuck off at this point. Because he shows up to fucking work drunk. He got a fucking DUI last week. He could have fucking killed somebody because he wants to go around and get drunk when he's the designated driver. Like some kind of fucking asshole. I'm sorry, I should probably stop talking on this topic because this thing does legitimately piss me off, and I'm going to keep on ranting about it unless I stop, so.
Well, then let's jump back to the Willox Tavern, where Jewel is currently chanting, every. Is he AFK, like, for real?
You be out of luck.
You have no options. This is a threat. Let me go grab a ginger ale, actually. I need
I need to grab a snack. I'm hungry.
Harry hasn't sang since church choir.
Ooh.
I want to roll for persuasion.
40 plus years ago.
I want to assist in the roll, so you get advantage.
Ooh, okay.
Never mind, I have barbecue next week.
Where's my damn dice?
The
Hold on.
chronomancer automatically makes it a 1.
You can no way. Is that for real? Is that a real thing?
Could be.
Look, you can play a song off of YouTube. You don't actually have to sing anything.
Ah, shit, I gotta go.
You could have Mom pick which song you sing.
Yes. Or you could have her sing.
Yeah, it'd be better to have her sing than me sing.
Oh, let's have Mom sing then.
Yes, this could be like, just make that part of your character, you know? You just...
when you sing a song, it sounds feminine. Yeah.
Like,
Come
embodies
out
you.
nowhere.
You've got magic. It could happen.
Talk beatboxes in the background.
Alright, listen, I don't actually know how to roll persuasion, so somebody's gonna have to walk me through that shit.
You roll a d20, and then add your charisma mod and your proficiency if you're proficient in it.
Harry disengages and hides as a bonus action.
Is it really? Look,
Yes, he's a goblin. He can do that.
Wait,
I thought Mom was gonna sing.
how much does he weigh? I'm gonna use catapult on him.
More than you can catapult.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
You have a 5-pound limit.
For now.
Okay, wait.
Wait until I give you the boots of anti-gravity. Then you'll only weigh 5 pounds.
I could cast Featherfall on him. Will that make him weigh less?
Does
No.
Damn.
Okay.
I will create a spell specifically to
D20.
reduce your weight so I can catapult you.
Hold-
We're gonna
hold
go
on.
with the fact that you
damn.
can't catapult living things.
Hold on a second, and I'll get
Oh.
Zam over here, and you can try to persuade Zam.
Yes.
So I rolled a 7, I have 5, so that makes it 12. Not the best. Not horrible.
Hold on a second.
Hold on. I rolled a 15, but I'm also proficient, which gives me 17 plus my charisma modifier. Let me pull it up.
Oh, you get... Wait, am I supposed to add charisma too? Or just the persuasion?
It's the charisma and the proficiency. So
I help.
I would get 19 for my first roll.
Okay, so then that was...
Oh, and I got a nat
add
20 with that, with
15.
that help. I got a nat 20, so that turns into a 24.
Okay, and I had a 15. Then, not a 12.
Hello, this is Sam. I was asked to come over.
Yes, Mom!
Yes.
Sing a song in place of Aerie, because he refuses.
You are Aries' singing voice now.
Oh, I have no singing voice. And I'm sick today.
Oh, no.
That's okay. It's like kind of like Phoebe from Friends when she got sick and then she started to sing and she was like all sexy blues. Phoebe, you'll just be like sexy blues, Aerie.
No, but it'd be great if she sounded exactly like. Oh God, what is his name? Why did I forget it? I see skies blue.
Oh, yeah.
Red roses too. Red roses too.
Look, if you want to play a song off of YouTube, that's perfectly fine as well. But something in character, Aerie has been challenged. We rolled persuasion and it was very high.
I got a nat 20. It's a 24.
I mean, we need our song.
I can't
Man,
tell.
but the persuasion worked on him, not on me. What?
The logic,
but see-
she
Well, then
knows.
let's do this.
When you
Let's
got
do this, Mom.
married, it's a what's mine is yours situation.
Well, also, you're the wife. You can simply say, sing this song, you're good at it. And bam.
Hold on 1 second.
I love that he's just in the background cackling.
No, I was cackling because as I turned the corner to come back, she's there shooting me the bird.
I found one called Down Down to Goblin Town. Maybe that'll work.
Just sing happy birthday, then it's a song.
Yeah, Necrogoblicon would be too intense for him, I think, for his
Oh no, this
personality.
is from The Hobbit.
I know, I'm talking about another goblin artist, but like a real life goblin artist.
The real life goblin? What?
Or, like, if you're happy and you know it, clap your
It's
hands.
called Necrogoblicon, it's the band name, and there's a goblin in it.
I don't think that we're going to win this battle.
Just saying. We did roll for it.
And also, you do have the option
Here
of
you go.
just posting any YouTube link.
Hey, here you go. Here's a song.
God damn, it's 10 minutes long, son!
Fuck! That came out my fucking nose.
You're welcome.
Yeah, this goblin song's pretty fucking good, though.
Almost as bad as the last time I was in the gas chamber. Oh my god. I already explain what the gas chamber is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just realized, shit, hold on, I gotta explain that again. No, wait, I've already explained it. CS gas is not a fun
Oh
experience.
my
Unless
god.
you like vomiting from all of the holes in your face.
Yes, that works.
Merry Christmas, you filthy
That counts. It's not a song, but you are telling us some fantastical stories.
Oh, I guess Ashlyn is like Pippin and whatever his cousin's name is. Mary.
Here we go. Hush now, hide all you little ones, rush now into the middle of nowhere, singing and laughter will die. Dreamless sleep follows the nowhere king. When his kingdom comes, darkness is nigh. Quiet, crawl through the in-between, silent, secretive feeling of fearsome hatred that reaches the skies. You will bring joy to the nowhere king when he sees the light leaving your eyes. And as he
That's creepy AF, and I love it.
Wow! What the fuck is that? You making
That's the
pancakes.
That's the chef in the back of the tavern dropping it like it's hot.
That's probably because it is hot. He's cooking something on the stovetop.
Oh lord.
There ain't even anything in that pan.
Is there a tortilla in there?